Hello and welcome. This is Mousecunner, and we're back with some more Motorsport Manager, and we're back with the Predator Racing Group, continuing on with the Worst to Best Challenge, and we just finished the last race of the third season, so it's time to get into the preseason here, and it's also time to re-sign some of our staff and drivers. So drivers-wise, we're going to be re-signing Santa Ana. We cannot re-sign Dior even if we wanted to because he has a problem with Santa Ana. He has a attribute rival with teammate. As long as she is on the team, he will not re-sign. So even if we wanted to keep him, which we don't, he will not re-sign. So if we're going to sign, we're going to have to renew our contract with Santa Ana. And what else we have? Staff. I may be allowing this contract to just expire with Oscar, but we also have our lead designer that we have to consider here. Now, lead designer is not really great, but she's not terrible, and she does have potential for the future to be better. Anyone that I'm not for sure gonna renew their contract, I'm probably just going to let their contract expire. So let's take a look at Santana. Right now, Santana's cost per race is $167,000 per race, and then she has, maybe that's it. So let's go ahead and take a look at renewing her contract. She is interested. Let's start negotiations here. I'm going to say equal status for now because I think that's the strategy we're going to go for, at least with our team. She's making $167,000. We're only going to give her a slight raise. Which is not too much more here. And she does say wages aren't very important, but that is the minimum, so she might get upset with that, considering how much she's improved as a driver. She'd prefer a long contract, so we're going to go ahead and say end of the 2021 season. And bonus size isn't very important, so I'm not going to give her one. And we'll see what happens when we offer this contract. See if she will accept. So let us continue. The reason I'm not giving her too much of a raise, by the way, is because my team's, a smaller team. I don't want to spend a lot of money until we get our cars better developed. So we're going to offer this contract. If it looks like the wages are really too low, we might have to raise them. But I don't really want to pay her any more than $200,000. So we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and continue. So we've sent that proposal. I have a feeling she may say no just because how much we're offering her. And then as far as the staff, I think I am going to renew the contract with our lead designer, but I'm not 100% on that. The main reason I'm going to is because I don't think we get a much better offer than $10,000 per race. That is extremely low. But let's see what we can do. Renew contract. She's interested. We're only going to pay her slightly more than she made last time. She wants a long contract, and she's not very interested in a bonus. So again, this is the minimum, so it's quite possible she will be upset by this. But it is a raise over what she had last time, so let's offer it. I'm going to go ahead and just hit continue here, and we'll see. Oscar, I am not going to renew. I do not think. It's a tough call, but we're going to be replacing the driver with, that this mechanic services, so more than likely it'd be a good idea to get a better mechanic than we currently have. But on the other hand, would we be able to get a mechanic that would be this cheap? And honestly, I would say probably not. But I'm not for sure about it. So I'm not 100% on this one, to be honest with you. This is, I think, the toughest call. Dior going away, I don't care. Our other mechanic, I'm not 100% on, and that's the one thing. But I think I'm going to let the contract expire, and we'll see. Okay, let's go through the rest of the stuff here. So this is just stuff about our car and stuff from the race. Contracts running down, so it's letting us know that 4 people's contracts are running down. We already kind of know that. And then we have must respond, which is an interview. I'm going to reject because interviews aren't really all that interesting. And we do have some sponsors that we can also pick up, but considering that we have the whole preseason thing, there's not really a reason to take those right now. We might as well just wait until we get a bunch of offers going. So let's just continue for the meantime. And then we're going to have some stops here and there as the season finishes itself off. Okay, so we're going to have a bunch of things in the mailbox right now. So we're going to have people retiring. That happens. We have our prize money for the season. Let's receive that. Hopefully it's a good amount. 10 million. That's not too bad. That will help for sure. Okay. And then we have manager of the season. Probably not going to be us. No surprise there. Driver of the season. Again, not surprised that it's not us. And another driver just retired. Okay, so that is step number 1. We have a headquarters that we just built. We might want to build another headquarter building or upgrade one of our existing ones. What can we build here? We could build a tour center, and that would be long-term giving us money. It's only 1.5 million. It would take a while for it to pay for itself, but down the road it'd be good as long as it doesn't have upkeep, which I'm not clear on. But it might be a good call to pick this up. Alternatively, we could get something that would help us build more parts. Currently speaking, in this particular racing series, I think the only things we can develop right now are brakes, engine, and suspension. And I believe we already have the suspension upgrade handled. The only problem is a lot of these are really expensive. So I think I'm going to go with the Tour Center just because I think it's good long-term investment. And it takes 14 weeks to build, so I think the sooner we get on that, the better. Now, this means it's 1.5 million that we don't get for our car this season, but we're still developing, so I'm not really sure how important that's going to be. We also get a discount on it because of my financial ability. Okay, well, we have that going. Let's now go to the next bit, and we're now second overall. Let's continue. We're going to have some promotions and things happening. All right, so the new rules are in place. So we have the addition of Phoenix. We have unlimited pit stop crews, which I am looking forward to. And then we have points for the top 8. Oh, I forgot about that. I thought that got refused, but I guess it did pass. So that's going to make things extremely difficult for us next season. Okay. Well, this year, okay, they've been promoted to the World Motorsport Championship. Ruiz has gone up, and Garuda has come back down finally. So Garuda was a team that got promoted, I think, in the very first season of this whole thing. So they're now back down with us in the European Racing Series. Okay, well, let's go ahead and continue. Okay. So we've got our contract offer. Okay, so she said no, and she's very unhappy with the wages we're offering her. I thought we offered her more than this. So let's go as high as, well, what's her maximum? We don't want to go that high. We only have one more chance to rehire her, which is problematic, obviously. I'm going to go with 25,000. That's as high as I'm willing to go, I think. Maybe 30,000, but 25,000 is where it's at, and she doesn't care about the bonus size. Let's continue. So probably see a similar thing with Santa Ana, where she's not going to be happy with the renegotiation. Let's go ahead and continue here. Okay, we've got renegotiation again. Okay, that's not too surprising. All right, so she's not happy with the wages. So I'm going to offer her, what's the maximum? Wow, we could pay her quite a lot, huh? Well, she made 151,000. I refuse to pay her any more than this. She's an okay driver, but she's not worth dumping a ton of money on. So as a matter of fact, I think this is even too much for her, but I'm going to offer it. If she doesn't take it, she doesn't take it, and we'll see. All right, but I'm not paying her more than that. Okay. And we still have a bunch of scouting to do. I'll probably have to pick up what's left over after everybody else already does stuff, but I'm waiting until our current contracts expire with the other two before I make any negotiations, because you have to pay money to fire them. So, no thank you. Okay, so Santana is going to respond with the contract proposal. Hopefully we get a chance to continue to renegotiate with her. Okay, so this is where we're going to have to dump a lot of cash into the car. So let's design next year's car. We're going to get $7 million for how much money we were putting into the car throughout the season, which is something you can do in the financial. You can set up how much you want to put into the car. But really, honestly, I just leave it on the default setting because it's taking it from your per race amount. Now, honestly, in the Archer BMR series that I have since canceled, I could have done that to save myself money, but it would have probably been only a couple $100,000, and we were losing 450,000-ish amount per race. So that really wouldn't have made a difference, in my opinion. We still would have lost money consistently. In any case, we get $7 million. Okay, so now we have to design the car. And I don't want to spend every dollar I can spend, but I also don't want to cheap out on the car. So probably going to take this more middle-of-the-road part here. Fuel supplier. I might end up taking this one, although this one is decent as well. I'm going to take that one. And again, I think I'm going to go middle of the road here. So we're already going to be spending more than we saved for our car. So we'll do that for the material supplier. And then finally, we have the brake supplier. So we have 15 million in the bank. I do want to have some in the bank when we're done here. I might go for the best brakes that we have here. There we go. So we're spending almost 12 million on the car. I'm hoping that this will improve it without having, to spend every dollar we have. Because in theory, I could go up 1.5 million and then could go up another million. So that's 2.5 million. And then we've got, what, 2.4. So that's almost 5 million I could spend more, and I would be in the red if I did that. And I could get away with that, but I'm just not happy with spending that much money on our car, especially if I don't know if it's going to do us any good this season. So let's go ahead and continue. This might still be a development season. We're going to save a little bit of money because of my financial perk, about a little over $500,000, almost 600,000. Okay, so we're going to be designing that car. And we have a little over 4 million left in the bank, so we can build headquarters and things like that if we want to. I'm not sure that is something I am going to do. That's curious. Why are we so low in factory? We used to be one of the best teams for that. And the other thing you can do to upgrade that is here, and that's 15 million to do that. Okay, well, I don't game plan on doing that. Okay. We could get a simulator, although that doesn't help us because that's a spec part. Yeah, that's spec. Be nice to have an engine. All right, well, we'll just hold off for now. We can't afford any of that. I mean, we could, but I'm just not going to do it. Let's go ahead and continue. Do we get to our contract offer here? Okay, what do we got going on here? Okay. So these are people hiring others. Car improvability. I'm not doing that. No, thank you. Where are we at these guys' contracts now? So they're almost, this one's almost out. Still not sure about renewing this guy's contract. I just don't know if I could get much better than this guy with how much money we want to spend. So, you know what? I'm going to try and renew his contract. And I'm not going to offer him much more than he makes now. Let's say like 15,000. Give him a long contract. And that will be it, I think. And if he doesn't accept, as a matter of fact, I might pay him more or less what he's making now. Yeah, you know what? I'm willing to go 15,000. Yeah, we'll go 15,000. If he doesn't accept, he doesn't accept, and that's fine. Okay. Let's just go ahead and continue here. And we'll hear back from Santa Ana. Okay, she accepted, so spent a little bit more money on her than I wanted to, but it looks like she's not happy with how much we're paying her per race, but she was delighted with everything else, so it ended up balancing out. So we're going to go ahead and sign her. Okay, so that means for sure we're getting rid of Dior, but I'm going to wait until his contract's expired before I do that. We are having to start sponsor offers. Let's just, and then she's got her contract renewed. She's happy. Okay, got another contract offer here. She accepted, so let's go there. Okay, so she was neutral on how much we offered her. It's not too much. I mean, it is definitely more than we offered her before, but we will be signing her. And we now are negotiating with Oscar and drivers. His contract's now expired, so there's no break contract cost. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at drivers. So I'm trying to think what would be the best way of doing this. So this is Dior. We're comparing with him. I want people that are unemployed and probably equal to him in ability, but have decent potential. Like, for instance, Maya here is better than him now, but could be even better than Santa Ana. That might be a good choice. So we also have this guy who could be really, really good. And we have Shen, who could be as good as Santa Ana is right now. I mean, we have a lot of options. I'm going to take a look at... Let's start from the top. We don't know how old any of these characters are, looking through here. Maybe it doesn't matter, though, if they've got good potential. So Boris is out of the question. He's probably beyond what we can pay. Honestly, some of these guys probably are, too. But let's take a look at Maya here. So Maya has good marketability. She's 29, so she's decently, up there in age. She's an early breaker. That's a permanent bad thing. My sponsors are interested. Okay, so we get paid. So that kind of might outrule the low cost. I mean, the cost we'll have to pay to get her. Okay. She has a temporary thing that gives her marketability. So we have to keep in mind that current marketability is being modified pretty dramatically, as a matter of fact. So her marketability is probably going to be 10% once these two things run out. And they will run out before the season really starts. Maybe this one will stick around. But, okay. So the main big thing we have here is that her sponsors will pay us each race that she takes part in, which is actually really good. The downsides of her is her feedback isn't great. She's not as good at braking, but that's because she has that early breaker permanent ability or effect, which sucks. Cornering is better than Dior. Smoothness is much worse. Overtaking is better, though. Consistency is better. Adaptability is better. Fitness is better. Feedback is a little bit down, but focus. So she's not a bad driver, and she could be a pretty good driver. The only real problem that we have is that permanent early breaker effect. But if we could get her a pay driver, that's not too bad. She, again, is up there in age, but she's got a lot of potential. Let's see what else we've got out there. But I'm going to go ahead and, where is she? Star her so that we remember that she's a good driver. All right, let's go down the list. So we also have Alex Willis here. Okay, so he's old and as much as he has potential, he'll probably retire, and he's got a lot of, negative traits, so we're going to ignore him. We've got this guy here, Yabez Warada, I think is how you pronounce that. Pretty young. He's got a permanent negative trait, which, you know, is not great. I honestly would probably take Maya over this guy right now, because I'm just concerned how much he's going to cost me. He's got really good marketability, though, now that I look at that. Let me look at it one more time. 92%, and some of that is coming from a temporary stat, but still, that's really high. Well, how much would he be looking for? Yeah, he's going to be looking for a lot of money. So I still think Maya is a good choice here. All right, Shen. Let's take a look at her. Okay, Shen has almost 3 stars worth of potential, which is being modified by a permanent thing there. She also has good feedback, which is currently actually lower than Dior's, but better than Maya's. She's really good in a lot of stats outside of smoothness. She's not so good at consistency. She's also kind of weak in, but she's better than Dior in a lot of ways, and has good potential. And this is a driver that I ended up picking up with my Archer BMR team, and she was decent. Okay, but she's probably going to cost me. Let's take a look. Not too bad considering how good she is. Okay, and she's 21, so she's decently young. Okay, what else we got? Simone Santor is pretty good potential here. Let's compare. Okay, so she's 27. She struggles in wet weather, which is permanent. And then she's got a temporary thing that doesn't really help me. Marketability is 35%, which is better than Dior's. For the most part, she is close to or better than Dior, and she's got good potential. What would she be interested in as far as money goes? About the same as Shen, but she has better potential. Okay. I am going to go ahead and favorite her, too. All right. What else we got? We've got this guy who has no potential. And then now we just drop off a cliff of crap. So the only thing about this guy is he might be really marketable. Yeah, he is. He's really marketable. I think this guy was a driver for a team. And we also have the pay driver thing. And oh, well, that's no good. First lap panic. That kind of really sucks. Okay. Well, he's not a bad driver, except for feedback is terrible. Okay. But I think Maya is going to be the first person we try and get. Let's see what she's looking for as far as money, because she has the same attribute, pay driver. The only problem is the marketability is going to go away, so she's not going to be that marketable later. But we might be able to get her for about the same amount of money it might cost us to pay her. So let's approach her. Let's see. Yeah, she's not asking for that much money, so we might even make a profit on her, honestly. So I'm going to say equal status. And we'll pay her, let's say, 150 for the initial offer. And then we'll give her a long contract because that's what she wants. She doesn't want a signing on fee, and she doesn't really care about bonus. So we'll go with just a very basic contract for her, $156,000, which is less money than what her sponsor is going to offer us. So we'll make a profit on her. And she's not a bad driver. So let's go ahead and offer. And the only thing I'm really concerned about is she's 29. And I don't know. It seems like that doesn't really affect potential all that much. But I don't know how long she'll stick around with our team. But we'll go with that. And we'll see what we can get here. And what do we got? As far as in here, contract renewed. Yeah, okay, good. Let's continue. Okay, so Oscar now has his contract proposal. He's going to accept, so we're just probably going to take that. She has a fever, which is only 4 weeks, so I'm not worried about it. Scouting report finished. Okay. Now, the one thing about the scouting reports is that might actually give me knowledge of people that could be good, like somebody that we didn't currently see. So I am gonna take a look at that. Maybe if this current driver doesn't accept, but Oscar just accepted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sign him. Okay, he's been signed. So we've got most everything locked in except our driver. So let us. We got more unread mail. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have our contract offer, and it looks like she accepted. Let's see how well we did with the contract offer. So she's unhappy with the cost per race, but she's happy with everything else. So she was willing to sign. So that worked out. We got her for a lot less than she probably was looking for. We'll go ahead and sign her. And we'll be replacing Dior. Yes. Continue. And we don't have to spend anything because she didn't have any signing on bonuses or anything like that. And there we go. We have Amaya now as part of our team. And we'll just keep this person that was only going to cost us 1,000 per race. The only real benefit I'd see to signing another driver would be get somebody that has better feedback than this driver has, because she's only at 7, which isn't great, honestly. But she's not too far away from leveling up to 8, and that's all right. In any case, I think this is a good point. Oh, let's just go through some emails here. So contract terminated. Yeah, goodbye. And contract signed. And then we picked up Maya here. Okay. I'm actually curious. I never really looked at this. Career history. Okay, so she has no career history. I was curious if she had raced with another team, because she doesn't seem like that bad of a driver outside of this one permanent stat penalty. All right, in any case, I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.